Yo, what is up, tube? What is up? I just recorded the Walking Dead game on the gaming channel, so go watch that shit if you fucking haven't. Anyways, I've been low-key like interested in like these food videos. I've always been kind of interested in like these crazy food challenges and shit. So I seen Sunny V2 had a video 2 months ago. Every challenge that Beard Meats Food couldn't be. I don't know who that is, but honestly, fuck it. I'm here for the journey.
Of the 590 eating
Not really, but
challenges
kinda.
posted to his channel,
Beard
Beard
Meats
Meats
Food.
Food has failed only 14.
food
So from the
challenges.
earliest to the most recent, we're going to go over each rare example where the restaurant beat him, beginning with the undefeated Yorkshire Pudding Burger, which was the first challenge uploaded to his channel which Beard
Pudding
couldn't finish.
Burger,
When
huh?
Adam attempted the challenge back in February 2015, he'd
That
been
shit
uploading
is
YouTube
fucking
videos for only
stupid.
2 weeks, and as a result the production is fairly basic.
Bro, look at the way he has to eat that bitch. He has to fucking take the bun off and like peel the bun and like shove it in his mouth. Then he's gonna go to the fucking cheese and he's gonna shove the cheese in his mouth. Like, bro, like this is probably like a week's worth of food he's eating.
However, he didn't need multiple angles and a 4K camera to show just how difficult this challenge was. As highlighted in the description, the challenge featured a 40-ounce burger topped with mozzarella, chicken, beef brisket and gravy, accompanied by a pint of shake and a pound of thick-cut fries. Although over the top of some
Why,
extra
though?
loud
They're like, you know what,
music,
let's throw in
Adam
a pound
explained
of
that the
fries.
most difficult part of the challenge was the 25-minute time limit, which simply wasn't
25
enough to
minutes.
finish the fries, marking the first ever defeat on the Beard Meats Food channel.
Just couldn't eat quickly enough, and I think that's one thing I'm gonna have to improve on if I'm gonna take it to the next
God
level.
damn.
So
While you might be thinking that Beard failed because he was new to professional eating, this couldn't have been further from the truth. Even at the beginning of his channel back in 2015, he'd explained that he was the UK's
What is
best
that?
professional eater, and only 1 month after he failed the Yorkshire
You know what's
Burger
crazy
Challenge,
is like I get it, but it also doesn't make sense to me at the same time. Like these motherfuckers always be like in shape. Like they always got like a decent body, like decent arms and shit. But at the same time, it's like they have to work out a lot, right?
he'd beat a giant naan bread challenge that was so
But you'd expect them to
difficult,
be, like,
he won an
kinda big.
overseas holiday just for finishing the meal. This showed that Beard Meats Food was a pro even in the beginning, although he still wasn't good enough to beat the 1.2 meter hot dog challenge at Huckleberry's Diner. Attempted only 1
4
month after the
foot.
previous failure,
That
the
bitch
video is still fairly
drowning in
basic,
chili and
although
shit.
Beard's able to get a clear shot of the 4-foot monstrosity, which the restaurant gave him an hour to finish.
Bro, I
Only
couldn't
11 minutes into the
do
challenge,
half that
Beard is
shit.
down
I'd
to
be
the
full.
bread, and it
I'd
seems
be like,
as
oh
though
my
he's going
God.
to beat it, but he's then handed another hot dog of equal size, showing that he was really only halfway. Things became even worse after Beard explained that the chef accidentally used a heavy baguette instead of a light hot dog bun, and for this
What?
reason it took Adam more than half an hour just to eat the bread. By the 52-minute mark it looked like he was going to finish, although with
How do
one
you
minute
accidentally
remaining,
use
there
a
were still
baguette
2
instead of a
bites
hot dog
left, to
bun?
which his mouth was
What the
saying yes, but his stomach was saying no. The
Oh my
Beard
God,
simply
don't.
couldn't swallow the final part of the meal, but while this hot dog failure had come down to a matter of 2 mouthfuls, his next defeat was
He literally had like 2 bites left, dog. He had to swallow the food and he had like, oh damn.
significantly more pronounced when he
8?
take on the 10-pound cheesecake challenge approximately
fuck
9
no, I
months
could-
later. Undertaken
I
at the
could do
very
a
same
regular
restaurant where he
challenge.
failed the 4-foot hot dog
Like I
challenge,
would
he began by
attempt
showing
it.
that
You know what I
the
mean? I
10-pound
wouldn't get
cheesecake
far,
was
but
bigger than his
cake
head, although he'd also explained that
made
it
me
was
wanna
a
kill
two-man
myself.
challenge, so he had a person by the name of John who was there to help him finish it. The only problem was the rules stated that they couldn't both be eating at the same time, so the other guy went first and tapped out after eating only one of the cake's 6 slices.
He's hardly
This
trying.
meant that Adam was left with over 80% of the cake to finish on his own, which he
Bro.
did while explaining that the cheesecake was so dense he had to throw it up after attempting the challenge.
I don't wanna
Beard
see
had
it.
to admit defeat with around 1.5 slices remaining, although he probably gets a
Fuck
pass
no.
given it was a 2-man job. However, the only excuse for the next challenge he'd fail
Huge
was that it
barbecue
was simply
platter.
stupidly difficult. Beard began the video by explaining that he tried the challenge in the past.
I tried this about a year ago, probably a little bit more.
I've
It's
tried
basically
this.
7 pounds of barbecue food.
And while 7 pounds of barbecue food sounds like a pretty delicious meal, the difficulty
Mm-hmm.
of this challenge can only be recognized by reading the list of items involved.
How
12
do people
chicken
do
wings,
that? When you really think about it, like motherfuckers be going out to like these food spots. They set that big ass camera up in their face and they go like, in front of like a whole restaurant.
A rack of ribs, sausages, 6 slices of beef brisket, 2 pounds of fries, coleslaw, 4 bread buns, 3 pots of beans, 1 pot of jalapenos, 5
What?
strips of pork crackling, and mounds of pulled pork, made even more difficult by the explanation that almost all ingredients seem to have doubled in size compared to my last attempt, and though I'm sure it wasn't intentional, this meal is far heavier than 7 pounds. The beard was able to get through an impressive amount of food, however he eventually succumbed to the sheer amount of meat. But in case 7 pounds of barbecue food wasn't already hard enough, only 1 month later he'd upload a new video trying to beat a challenge that was so difficult, the restaurant had to downsize the meal afterwards as they realized nobody would ever beat it.
Yeah, that's true, bro. Like, when you think about it, you have like a professional like food challenge eating dude with almost 3 million subscribers and he can't even do that shit. It's like, bro, how do you expect like a normal person who eats a lot to come in and do a challenge? Like,
11-pound chicken and waffles challenge. Adam began by stating that this was going to be his hardest challenge ever.
11-pound chicken and waffles.
This eating challenge is called No Cooking Chance.
Before going on to explain that he needed to eat 4 Louisiana chickens, 4 deep fried chickens, 8 waffles, onions, onion rings, corn, and 3 pounds of cheesy fries.
Onions,
However, it seemed
onion
that Beard was
rings.
being humble,
What the hell?
as he didn't mention the bacon on the sides as well as the pickles, which covered everything. Beard then expressed concern over the 40-minute time limit.
This is a 40-minute time limit, which damn near makes it impossible for all but about 3 people in the entire universe.
As well as the dryness of the waffles, and by the 30-minute mark, Adam stated that he knew he couldn't finish. He'd throw in the towel with a minute remaining.
I don't care who you are, ain't nobody in that amount.
I know all that syrup and
Just
shit in
followed
his
by a
beard.
sentence in the description reading, "The challenge has since been downsized to encourage participation." Although it seemed this defeat would actually lead to
Holy shit, look at this. What the fuck? Who is... First of all, is that a fucking waffle burger freak shake? That's a giant ass milkshake. It looks like something... Is that just patties on patties? Motherfucker has burger patties on the milkshake. Like, why?
a string of successes, as the beard wouldn't upload another failure for over 15 months, until he was eventually undone by the undefeated Meat Mountain. Located at Tavasoli's Bar and Grill, Adam described the Meat Mountain as one of the most difficult challenges I've seen for a long time, which was supported by the scorecard on the wall behind him, showing that there were 8 failures and not a single winner. If there was one man for the job, it was going to be Beard Meat's food. However, he'd need to get through a 9-pound garbage plate of fries, hash browns, mozzarella dippers, bacon, pulled pork, burger patties, chorizo, garlic mayo, and sweet chili sauce, accompanied by a pint of Kinder Bueno milkshake, all of which has to be finished within 20 minutes.
Just to finish it off with a pint of milkshake.
For 20 minutes, I'm not really surprised that
20 minutes for that? 20 minutes?
Stated count blessings, not calories. The beard began to smash his meal, interrupting himself only when asking for more water. By the 15-minute mark, he stated that the meal felt like a bottomless pit of food, and by the 19-minute mark, Adam accepted that he didn't have enough time.
What even am I looking
at? To make the slightly arrogant and incredibly factual statement that,
to be honest, not many restaurants that do eating challenges manage to beat me.
Which was supported by him not failing a single restaurant challenge over the next 2 years.
Damn.
However, when he'd come up against the incredibly unique Bangers and Mash challenge, the Beard's 24-month winning streak would finally come to an end. Described below the video as ludicrously difficult, Adam was shocked.
If you think about it, they could really just like not upload themselves failing, and they'd be undefeated.
You get 30 3-0.
30 sausages.
Which became even worse after the server told him the amount of time he had to do it in.
You gotta finish it all in, is it 1 hour? 20
Bro, the
minutes?
sausages alone is insane. And then look at all the other food around it. And then he just gets told 20 minutes. Like, he was probably expecting like 40 minutes, an hour. 20 minutes, dog.
Oh my lord, I should have just done the little burger. This could be the first restaurant challenge I failed in.
It's been 84 years.
Literally.
It was obvious that Adam was unconfident from the get-go, made even worse after he'd start and discover each sausage was too hot to eat. Adam's confidence continued to drop after realizing that he also
That's gotta be fucking annoying. Like, you start a challenge, you realize the food is way too hot. Then he has to sit there. Like, if you think about it, he needed like 10 minutes for the food just to chill off.
Afterwards, and while he did give it a red hot shot, Beard was eventually defeated by the time limit, although not before the restaurant offered him a free t-shirt for his efforts anyway.
Well, good job, bro. You win a t-shirt.
Yeah.
feel like I should give you a t-shirt.
However, there was no t-shirt being offered by Low, Slow, and Dough.
I don't know what I'm looking at. Is that croutons? Or what's it called? Tater tots?
As the beard had no chance of beating their burrito challenge.
That's
The chef came
about-
out to personally
Oh my
explain the
God.
magnitude of the meal.
It's just over a foot long.
If they don't give him a fucking hour for this shit, that is in-fucking sane.
Weighs about
An hour.
2.5 kilos.
Before the owner talked about how many people had beaten it.
Has anyone finished it yet? I've seen a few people have attempted it and failed miserably.
Nope, nobody's done it. It's impossible so far.
Everyone's failed. Everyone so far.
It's just undefeated.
Adam then explained that the meal was much larger in real life than it looked in the photos,
Which turned out to be way bigger than the pictures indicate.
leading to the suspicion that the restaurant had packed it on.
I wanna know how long.
He was.
This is one of the reasons I try not to announce that I'm turning up somewhere in advance. Yeah, the chef piled it on here.
Wow. So they piled on that. Bro, I was gonna say, hold on. Look at the photo. Look at this photo. Where the fuck is it? Oh, fuck. Look at this shit. Bro, look at the amount of tater tots. Even the burrito, everything just looks way smaller. Like, this looks like 2/3 of the size.
So far.
It's just undefeated.
Adam then explained that the meal was much larger in real life than it
Fuck
looked in the
no.
photos,
Which turned out to be way bigger than the pictures indicate.
leading to the suspicion that the restaurant had packed it on, as they knew who he was.
This is one of the reasons I try not to announce that I'm turning up somewhere in advance. Yeah, the chef piled it on here. I mean, I don't mind that, you know, it's but this was tough going.
Beard had demolished the entire burrito within 2 or 3 minutes. However, the halloumi was almost impossible to get down in the 17 minutes remaining, with Adam describing the challenge as
I just had a bad day at the office. I suppose it happens in all careers.
After being unable to finish the churros, he stated that he planned on returning,
It is definitely doable, so I'll be back.
which he'd do 5 months later, getting revenge on the challenge with 45 seconds left on the clock. However, 45 seconds was still favourable in comparison to the 0 seconds he had left when attempting the Breakfast Club's
Breakfast.
50-item fry-up. Eggs, bacon, beans, mushrooms, the list went on and on. 50 different breakfast
Bro,
pieces,
dry-ass
including
toast.
a full bowl of potatoes, which counted as
Potatoes.
only one item. It's really no wonder why
What?
Adam described the breakfast as so massive light actually bends around it. However, the primary concern might have been the time limit.
You get, 30 minutes to finish? That's gonna be tough.
As Adam began to eat, it was obvious that he was doubting his own ability.
You could probably see in my face that I'm not quite as self-confident.
With his lack of confidence becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy, as he began to chat with the other people in the restaurant about how he got into professional eating. After passing the 13
Yeah, man,
mark,
so
Adam
I
acknowledged
just,
his lack of
you know what I
speed in the
started?
first
Because I
half.
was really
You have to be
hungry.
quite serious enough
Bro, you're
from the
mid-challenge.
start. I think I was pretty slow at the gate. I'm 15
Look at all that
minutes in,
dry-ass
I've got all
toast.
this-
Oh my
this food
God.
left. I think the Breakfast Club is gonna defeat me.
And by the 23-minute mark, he'd accepted that there was no way he was eating the potatoes.
I don't think I'm gonna finish this now in 30 minutes. I think I'm defeated. There's no way I can do this in 3 minutes.
In spite of the
Bro,
failure,
yeah,
the
like,
Breakfast
You gotta think about that shit. Like
Club were
potatoes.
nice enough to offer him
It's
a
gonna
t-shirt,
fill you
but
up.
it was lucky that the next place he'd be defeated also offered funerals, as Fletcher's Olympic calzone damn near killed him. Beer described the challenge as a calamity from the get-go, as after realizing that the food was piping hot, he had to eat the crust around the outside while waiting for the middle to cool down. When it was finally cool
Wow.
enough to eat, Adam quickly tired from the sheer quantity of pepperoni, ending the challenge somewhat anticlimactically by stating,
I can't face any more pepperoni. That's all it is. Mate, I can't do the pepperoni's just destroyed me. I can't stand the taste of it anymore. I'll take the loss.
However, at least Beard was able to leave the restaurant in a calm state, as the next challenge he'd fail looked so different from the pictures
What?
that he'd almost get into an argument with the restaurant.
Yeah, I
the
gotta
online
see this.
photo showed a small pot of chips, 1 scoop
Okay. So a pretty big looking burger, a pretty big looking thing of chips, and then just a giant slice of cake.
of ice cream, and a relatively small burger. However, the portion served to Beard featured a literal
What the fuck? The burger alone already looks definitely bigger. The cake slice looks normal, I guess. They literally, oh my god.
colander of chips, 8 scoops of ice cream, and a tower burger. causing
And
a
they
bit of
give
a
him 8
scuffle
scoops of,
between
oh
him and
my
the
god.
restaurant.
It's not the same bucket. Look at it. That's a full one. That one is far apart like a porn. Come on, big man. That's like a normal flush of rice.
He went midway
What
and
a
had
bunch
it.
of con men. Look at the size of those chips.
The other problem Adam faced was that the timer started as
That
soon
shit's
as
stupid.
the food hit the table, and since it's
They gave him like quadruple the amount of fries, dog.
Taking pictures for the thumbnail, he was left with less than 24 minutes to eat the actual meal.
If I win this, it's gonna be a miracle, man. Because I don't even know how long I've been going. Come on, man.
As is obvious in that clip, Adam wasn't in the best
Yeah,
state
you're
of
not
mind
doing
from
it,
the get-go, almost like he wanted
Look
to
at that
lose just
fucking
to prove to the
fry
restaurant
count.
that the portion size was unbeatable.
I think I've got about 10 minutes left, maybe, if that. What a flipping con.
As the challenge continued, Adam stated that he'd never been this angry during a meal,
This is about as grumpy as you'll ever see me, but, you know, with good reason.
which is followed by him accepting
I'm
defeat
gonna
with
get cold
around
as
4
fuck.
minutes remaining.
Damn.
I'm done. I'm just waiting for the guy to come over now.
However, while Adam gets somewhat of a pass for this defeat, the only justification for his next failure
my fucking
was that
God.
it was probably the largest, most difficult challenge ever posted to his channel. Located at Connor's Cafe in
What even
Wigston,
is that?
the channel going
Toast?
by the
Like-
name of the Loza Sandwich had been attempted by over 50
What?
people without a single success.
And then they're like, here's a whole
and after
tray
it
of
came
bread.
out onto the table, there was no question.
Bro, you have to
as
shove that
why.
dry-ass
The
bread down your
monstrous
face.
Sandwich featured a full baguette.
My God, every single one of these looks impossible. This big ass fucking sandwich. Then they give him a giant thing of fries, which is literally potatoes. It's gonna fill you up. Then they give him dry ass bread. Like if that's me, I'm pouring that bottle of water on the bread just to finish it.
Get half a
So it's
dozen
not
eggs,
fucking
half
dry
a
as
loaf
shit.
of bread, as well as fries, beans, mushrooms, and chorizo.
Half a loaf of
Thankfully, the
bread.
meal
Like,
was
what the
incredibly
fuck?
well priced should Adam be defeated.
12 quid? I come down here and eat every day for breakfast.
Although on top of
I don't know what quid is in US dollars, but it sounds
the
fucking cheap.
£12 cost, failed challenges also
What is it, like
required a
$20
£10
maybe?
donation
Like-
to charity, which was a pretty cool idea by the restaurant. It wasn't long before Adam's least favorite food was getting in the way of the challenge,
I'm not a huge fan of mushrooms, so I'm gonna get those out of the way.
as was the owner in a pretty funny way. By the 21-minute mark, Adam was praying for a second wind of
The-
motivation, although with 4 minutes remaining, he'd accept that it wasn't happening.
Okay, he was playing.
I'm gonna have to give in. Yeah, congratulations. It's not often I'm beaten.
However, while the Loza sandwich looked almost impossible from the start, his next failure was the opposite. The 10-pound pancake challenge looked fairly straightforward, yet
Yeah.
it turned out to be unbelievably difficult. The video began with the
I can see
explanation
it.
that in over 14 years it
I
had
mean, think
almost
about this. All this is gonna be in his stomach. This whole giant thing is gonna
never
be in his
been
stomach.
beaten.
Only 3 people have done it so far, right?
Yes.
Made even more difficult by questions and photos from countless friendly fans.
So how
In
long you been
addition
doing
to
this,
A
man?
comment on the
How long you
video
been in the-
stated,
in the
"Those
food eating
pancakes
business?"
look way bigger / thicker than in the other videos I've seen from this same challenge," showing that he might have gotten unlucky in terms of pancake size.
Damn.
Despite this, the beard gave it his best shot, although it took only 6 minutes and 33 seconds before Adam was confident he wouldn't finish. He
Steaming
spent
ass
the next
pancakes.
19 minutes slowly devouring as much as he could. However, the time limit was no issue on this one, as he'd throw in the towel with over 35 minutes left on the clock,
Really?
showing that there was simply too much food.
I had an hour, but I've only got like 30 minutes left. I don't even think I'm gonna get close to this one.
And while every defeat so far came from either time constraints or portion sizes, it'd be the 4 million
Wow.
Scoville Spicy Noodle Challenge, which presented a brand new problem. The meal was just too damn hot.
I read on the internet that this is the spiciest
no
ramen
way.
challenge in America.
There's no way you make the spiciest ramen challenge and then you make it an enormous fucking bowl. Who is that fucking crazy?
Manager explained that over 300 people had attempted the bowl without success,
300 attempts and nobody's finished it.
300
Not the man for this
attempts?
assignment.
with the challenge being so wild that Adam had to sign a waiver just to eat the meal. The 3-pound bowl of ramen had to be finished in under 8 minutes, although in possibly his least confident state ever, Adam said it wasn't happening after only 19 seconds. Despite this, the beard made a pretty solid attempt, with the restaurant saying it was one of the best efforts so far. Yet this would also mark his 14th and most recent restaurant defeat out of the 590 challenges attempted on his channel.
590. Holy fucking shit.
On the 20th of
They
February,
did a fucking video on TSM. What the fuck? Shit, man. That sucks. I would be pissed as fuck if I got up to a place and they knew me and they was talking about some or they wouldn't say shit. It would just be fucking giant ass portions of food. I'm like, I've seen the photo of it before. You see this? You gave me fucking double. What the hell? I don't even know why they do it. Why can't they just be a good sport? Like make that shit normal. They give them a big ass tub of fries. God damn it.